everyone, and a very warm welcome to Talk English Every Day. Hi there, I'm Erica, and we are truly delighted to see you.
Hi, everyone. We are so happy you're here, practicing English with us once again. I'm Marco.
Whether you are dedicated to your English studies or just enjoying a peaceful moment of learning, welcome to our slow English conversation practice.
That's right. This is your space to relax, listen carefully, and build your English skills, one step at a time. Here, we learn English through natural dialogues, conversations that feel real and familiar, just like everyday life.
Today, we're going to focus on 3 very common but often tricky English words. They are the prepositions in, on, and at.
Yes, these words are tiny, but they are everywhere in English. We understand that many learners find them confusing. The wonderful thing is that their usage becomes much clearer when we hear them in context, in real-life situations.
The other suggests, let's meet at the trailhead parking lot. The parking lot is the specific meeting point, so we use at.
Now, imagine another simple example. 2 people are in a classroom. One asks, "Where's my pencil case?"
The other replies, I think it's on the shelf under the window. The shelf is a surface, so we use on.
Now, imagine one more question. A person asks their friend, "Where will you be later tonight?"
The friend replies, I'll just be at home watching a movie. Home is the location, the specific place, so we use at.
So, whether we are talking about places, times, events, or routines, the same simple rules for in, on, and at apply.
Listening to natural conversations, just like this one, is a fantastic way to internalize these patterns. The more you listen and practice, the more natural and automatic using these words will become.
Even though in, on, and at are very small, they are incredibly important for speaking clear, natural, and accurate English. They truly are the tiny threads that hold our sentences together.
Thank you so much for practicing English with us today. We truly enjoy sharing this learning journey with you.
Keep listening, keep practicing, and keep speaking English every day. We'll be here with you next time. Bye for now.
Take care, everyone. The other friend replies, I keep it on a hook by the front door. The hook is a surface, so we use on.
Now imagine another question. The friend asks, "Where's your daughter right now?"
The other friend replies, she's in her room, doing her homework. Her room is an enclosed space, so we use in.
Let's think of another example. 2 colleagues are discussing a department meeting. One asks, "Where is the meeting being held?"
The other colleague replies, the meeting is at the training center. The training center is the specific location, so at is used.
Let's imagine another friendly conversation. 2 people are talking about relaxing after a long week. One asks, "Where do you like to read on Sunday mornings?"
The other replies, I love reading in my favorite armchair. The armchair is a space you sit inside, so we use in.
Now imagine another question. The friend asks, "Where's the book you're reading now?"
The other friend replies, it's on the nightstand next to my bed. The nightstand is a surface where the book is resting, so we use on.
So, once again, the pattern is clear. In for spaces, on for surfaces, and at for specific points or locations.
These little words are the building blocks for clear communication. They help us explain exactly where and when things happen in our daily lives.
Let's look at a few more examples that tie it all together. Imagine 2 friends talking. One asks, "Where were you this morning? I didn't see you at the bus stop."
The other friend replies, oh, I was at the dentist's office for a checkup. The dentist's office is the specific place. That's at. Going to the dentist early in the morning isn't always fun, but it's necessary.
True. Now imagine another situation. 2 coworkers are in a meeting. One asks, "Where are the handouts for this presentation?"
The other replies, they're on the chair by the door. The chair is a surface where the handouts are placed. That's on.
Now imagine another question. The coworker asks, "And where is the projector remote?"
The other replies, it's on the table next to the laptop. Again, the table is a surface, so on is correct.
Let's think of another friendly situation. Two friends are planning a weekend hike. One asks, where should we all meet on Saturday morning?
Now, imagine another question. The friend asks, and where's the scarf you're working on?
The other friend replies, it's on the sofa in the living room. The sofa is a surface, so we use on.
Let's imagine one more situation. Two colleagues are deciding where to go for a walk. One asks, where should we meet?
The other suggests, let's meet at the entrance to the park. The entrance is a specific point, so we use at.
So the pattern stays the same. In for being inside a space, on for resting on a surface, and at for a specific place or event.
And this pattern continues when we talk about our daily routines. Let's imagine a morning conversation. One person asks, where do you usually have your breakfast?
The other replies, I usually have breakfast in the kitchen. The kitchen is a room, a space. That's why we use in. A quiet breakfast in the kitchen is a great way to start the day.
It is. Let's imagine another situation. Two coworkers are talking. One asks, where's your coffee mug?
The other replies, it's on my desk, right next to my computer. The desk is a flat surface, so we use on.
Now imagine another question. The coworker asks, where are you working from today?
The other replies, I'm working at home today. Home is the specific location, so we use at.
Let's think of another simple conversation. Two students are talking about their study routines. One asks, where do you prefer to study for big exams?
The other student says, I prefer to study in the library. It's much quieter. The library is an enclosed space, so in is correct.
Now imagine another question. The student asks, where do you keep your highlighters and pens?
The other student replies, I keep them on my desk in a little cup. The desk is the surface, so we use on.
Now imagine another everyday moment. Two friends are arranging to meet. One asks, where should we meet before the movie?
The other friend says, let's meet at the ticket counter. The ticket counter is a specific point, so we use at. Meeting at the ticket counter is a classic plan.
It is. Let's imagine another simple situation. Two friends are talking about their home. One asks, where do you keep your umbrella?
We also use these prepositions when we talk about events and activities. They help us explain exactly where things are happening. Let's imagine two coworkers talking during a break. One asks, are you going to the company party?
The other replies, yes, it's at the new restaurant downtown. The restaurant is the specific location for the event, so we use at. Company parties are always fun.
They are. Let's imagine another conversation. Two friends are talking about their evening. One asks, where will you be later?
The other says, I'll be at a play with my sister. A play is an event, and we use at with events. For example, at a festival, at a wedding, or at a game.
Let's think of another simple chat. Two students are talking about their school. One asks, where is the principal right now?
The other student replies, she's in a meeting. A meeting happens in a room, a space, so we use in.
Now imagine another question. The student asks, where is your homework assignment?
The other student replies, it's on my desk at home. The desk is the surface where the homework rests, so on is used.
Let's think of another everyday situation. Two colleagues are preparing for a presentation. One asks, where will the presentation be?
The other replies, it will be in the main auditorium. The auditorium is a large room, a space. That's why we use in.
Now imagine another conversation. One colleague asks, where should we put the sign-in sheet?
The other says, please put it on the small table by the door. The table is a surface, so we use on.
Let's think of another friendly moment. Two friends are discussing their weekend. One asks, where were you yesterday afternoon? I called you.
The other friend replies, oh, I was at the farmer's market with my mom. The farmer's market is the specific place where they were, so at is correct. Farmer's markets are lovely on a weekend.
They really are. Let's imagine another simple example. Two friends are talking about hobbies. One asks, where do you keep your knitting supplies?
The other friend replies, I keep them in a big basket. The basket is a container, an enclosed space, so we use in.
Yes, especially on a sunny day. Let's imagine another friendly situation. Two students are talking after class. One asks, where do you usually eat your lunch?
The other student replies, I usually eat in the student lounge. The lounge is a room, a space you can be inside, so we use in.
Now, imagine another question. The student asks, "Where's your phone?"
The other student says, "It's on the table over there." The table is a surface, so on is the right word.
Let's think of another everyday example. Two colleagues are planning a quick catch-up. One asks, "Where should we meet for coffee?"
The other suggests, "Let's meet at the coffee shop on the corner." The coffee shop is the specific location, so we use at.
Let's imagine another simple conversation. Two friends are talking about their apartments. One asks, "Where do you keep your spices?"
The other friend replies, "I keep them on a little shelf by the window." The shelf is a surface. That's why we use on.
Now, imagine another question. The friend asks, "Where's your brother now?"
The other friend replies, "He's in his room, playing video games." The room is an enclosed space, so in is correct.
Let's think of one more example. Two people are meeting at a large stadium. One person texts, "I'm at the main gate."
The main gate is a specific point at the stadium. That's why we use at. Finding each other in big places like that can be tricky.
Yes, it's always good to choose a clear meeting point. These examples all show the same pattern: in for inside a space, on for on a surface, and at for a specific location or point. Listening to real conversations helps us pick up on these patterns naturally, and the more we practice, the more automatic using in, on, and at correctly will become.
Where's your cousin working now?
The other friend replies, "She's working in a bookstore downtown." The bookstore is a building, an enclosed space. That's why we use in. Bookstores are wonderful, quiet places.
Yes, they are perfect for finding a new story. Let's imagine another small conversation. Two colleagues are in the office. One asks, "Where's the weekly report?"
The other colleague replies, "It's on my desk. I just finished it." The desk is a surface, and the report is resting on top of it, so we use on.
Now, let's think of another everyday moment. Two friends are trying to find each other in a busy square. One sends a text, "I'm waiting at the fountain."
The fountain is a specific landmark, a precise point. That's why we use at. Waiting by a fountain can be nice, but sometimes it gets crowded.
In so many conversations, we also use in, on, and at when we talk about time. They help us say when something happens.
Exactly. Let's imagine a simple chat between two friends planning their morning. One asks, "What time do you usually leave for work?"
The other replies, "I usually leave at 8:15. Here, we use at for a specific exact time. 8:15 is a precise moment.
Getting to work on time is important. Now let's imagine another everyday moment. Two colleagues are talking about their schedule. One asks, "When's our project update call?"
The other colleague says, "The call is at 2 p.m. Again, at is used for the exact time. We use it for clock times, like at 5:30 or at noon.
Now let's think of a different kind of question. A friend asks, "When do you practice the guitar?"
The friend answers, "I usually practice in the evening." Here, we use in for a period or part of the day. The evening is a general block of time, not a specific moment.
Let's imagine another conversation. A student is talking about their classes. One friend asks, "When do you have your art class?"
The student says, "I have art class on Tuesdays and Thursdays." We use on for days of the week.
It's good to have creative hobbies. Let's think of another small dialogue. Two friends are planning a trip to the beach. One asks, "What time does your train arrive?"
The other replies, "It arrives at 3:45 in the afternoon." So we have at for the exact time and then in for the general part of the day.
Now imagine another question. The friend asks, "And what day are you traveling?"
The friend replies, "I'm traveling on Saturday." Saturday is a specific day, so we use on.
Let's think of a simple example with a teacher and student. The teacher asks, "When is our next test?"
The student replies, "It's on Friday." A specific day equals on.
Now imagine another question. The teacher asks, "And what time does the test start?"
The student replies, "It starts at 9 a.m. sharp." The exact time equals at.
Let's think of one more friendly chat. Two people are talking about their favorite time to cook. One asks, "When do you like to try new recipes?"
The other says, I like cooking in the morning on weekends. The morning is a general time period, so we use in.
These examples show a clear pattern for time. We use at for exact times, like at 7 or at midnight. We use on for days and dates, like on Monday or on June 1st. And we use in for longer periods, like in the morning, in July, or in 2026.
Paying attention to these patterns in everyday speech is so helpful. These prepositions are small, but they are essential for speaking clearly about time.
And of course, we also use in, on, and at all the time to describe places and locations. Let's look at some more examples.
So let's start with a simple example. Picture two friends trying to find someone. One friend asks, "Hey, do you know where Dad is?"
The other friend might reply, "He's in the garage." In this sentence, the word in tells us that Dad is inside a space. The garage is a room, an enclosed area.
Now let's think of another small conversation. One person asks, "Have you seen my glasses?"
The other person answers, "Yes, they're on the coffee table." Here, on is used because the glasses are resting on a surface. They are touching the top of the table.
Let's imagine a different everyday moment. Two colleagues are at work. One asks, "Where's the team meeting today?"
The other replies, "The meeting is at the main office." The word at points to a specific place or location. It's the precise spot for the meeting.
Let's try another friendly chat. Two friends are discussing their plans for the day. One asks, "Where will you be this afternoon?"
The friend answers, "I'll be in the city library for a few hours." The library is a building, a space you can be inside of, so we use in.
Imagine another situation. Someone asks, "Where did you put my bag?"
The reply is, "I left it on the floor, next to your desk." The floor is a surface, so we use on.
Let's think about another common moment. A person asks, "Where are you guys meeting for dinner?"
The person replies, "We're meeting at the new pizza place downtown." The pizza place is the specific location for their meeting. That's why we use at.
These examples show us a simple pattern. We use in for being inside a space, like a room or a building. We use on for things resting on a surface, and we use at for a specific point or place.
Listening carefully to conversations helps us notice these patterns, and by repeating these kinds of sentences, our own speaking becomes more natural. These small words are really the keys to clear communication, and with practice, using them correctly gets easier and easier.